between animals and humans, because we are also two-legged human beings, right? We are also as good as animals, but in what sense? And how can we discriminate ourselves, right, with the animals? What do we possess something which is not there in the animals also? And hence I have written that don't waste this special opportunity. And then towards the end of this session, we are going to actually see something very, very interesting. And we are going to see some of the history behind our ancient Vedic wisdom and how, as the time has passed, it's been lost actually completely. And it was a great strategy of many people who tried to rule India, right, in the past. It was a very great strategy on their part, right, in trying to actually hide this very great Vedic wisdom, trying to hide the importance, trying to hide the relevance of these Vedas. And then at the last part, we will also discuss about that where can I get this authorized Vedic knowledge as of now, right? Because it's not only that we understand that how the Vedas or the Vedic solutions they can offer some practical solution to the problems of life, but also we'll try to understand how can I and you can access as of now while doing our engineering or while pursuing our career. So that will be the most interesting part, right? It will be at the end of this session. Okay, so let's go ahead. So isn't it true that we are all searching for happiness, right? So whether we as students or as working, whether you may have got job in one of the best giants like Microsoft, Google, or any other multinational banks like JP Morgan or any other bank, right? So we are all searching for happiness, isn't it? Every single man on this planet, you can say, and every one of us is searching for happiness, isn't it? So while we are searching for this happiness, we are ready to do anything and everything, isn't it? People are really ready to go to any extent in trying to search for this happiness. Right? Like we are ready to, like initially we all seek happiness in our childhood days, in our college days. Maximum people they get addicted, right? Some of these games, right? And we think that probably I'll be very happy if I make myself a star player or a star batsman or anything, right? So we try to seek happiness in different modes, especially when I still remember in school days, uh, we are kind of our main joy comes from mostly watching only, right? We watch so much TV, television, and as we little bit grow, maybe 8th standard, 10th standard, or something, then we start thinking that okay, now I have seen a lot, let me experience now. So then we try to go out and ourselves try to exhibit some of these talents. And then when we go later in the college, what happens is our definition changes, right? And we start thinking that probably now I am a little more grown up, and the sources of happiness, doesn't seems to be the sources anymore, right? So we think that okay, let me take help of something higher in life, but it is only illusion, as we had already discussed, right? We are all searching for pleasure. We are all hunting. That's why I always say, it is called as pleasure hunt. So we are all searching for this happiness, but only thing is that we are not very intelligent enough, or we are not aware, you can say, of something higher in life. And hence we sought all these kinds of pleasures in our life. So people are also searching for pleasure, probably in having a go-to bar or disco dance, trying to have some relationship basically. So you understand that taking intoxication and will not also leave you very peaceful and happy. But then you think that okay, probably let me try to have, and people they try to indulge in many illicit relationships also, right, while pursuing their career. And if you are not involved in any of those things, if you are a little out of the box, right, then you can actually get it into many of such things also, right? They're called as stunts, right? Stunt. So people they take great pleasure in doing some stunts also. Like you can see in front of our college, I still remember we have that Bhavan's college, junior college, right? You'll find people they come on motorbikes and whatnot, silencers, so many horns and silencers. You can see that guy in the PPT. That guy is really taking so much pleasure in trying to ride like that. But very little he knows that how long he will be able to drive like that, right? Very soon he's going to meet with an accident. Either today or tomorrow. Today maybe he may be successful. Right? So people they try to find various sources of happiness. Right? Yeah, and then if that is also not enough, then you can see this. This is really very funny, and I'm not just joking, and I have not just put up these slides thinking anything and everything. It is really the fact, isn't it? People are ready to do anything that goes to show, just to have some smile on their face, just to feel good, just to feel happy, isn't it? Yeah. So, can we say that happiness means improved facilities for, we should have good to eat, isn't it? We should have very nice. So, our definition of happiness, can we club it together as, improved facilities for eating, isn't it? That is the first thing that we are all trying to have it in our life, right? Probably some five-star hotels, and if I can, have a good bank balance, and I'll be able to have very nice facility for eating. Okay, can I also say that I should have very nice place to sleep also, right? Maybe some Dunlop pillows and beds, right? Very nice, cozy. I should be able to sleep, right? Yeah, but then that is also not so enough, right? So then we want to have a very a like-minded partner also, right, in our life. So we think that probably a good mating partner will also add up, right, to the overall happiness, isn't it? And then this will be not only just military or some defending, but this is defending ourselves, isn't it, from coronavirus also. Very similar people are looking, just like what you see in this dress, right? People are wearing all those masks and all. Looks very similar. So, isn't it, right? So, can we say that happiness means improved facilities for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending? Yes. What do you think, Keshav?
So these are the kind of things like till they are there, you would feel happy. After they are gone, then you would again feel sad. So it's not a, can be said, a way to endless happiness. Like it would just stay till that time.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, yeah, very nice. So we will try to see that what it is exactly. I am audible enough, na? At your end?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so here I have made, now we are making a contrast and understand that are we the only species, because in the last session we have understood, right, that we are not only the living species, right? There are many other living species. So even animals are there, right? So they also have friends, the way how we have friends. They also have fun, right? They also have family life. Right? They also do everything probably what we are actually trying to do. So they also find happiness in all these four things: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So the question is, if they are also doing these activities and trying to, utilize their life and trying to spend their time, and we are also trying to do the same things in this lockdown period or any other time, right? So then, what is the difference between the animals and humans? Certainly, there should be some difference, right? Isn't it? Rather, animals are much more, talented and having, much more greater strength to actually indulge in some of these activities. What a human being also, you know, doesn't have so much, power, or you can say so much facility is not there even for human being also to enjoy in that way. So, yeah, this is a fact actually. Like if you see, in terms of eating, know, what are we in front of, you know, the animals like elephant? We are nowhere, right? In front of, what an animal can eat. So we can just understand that, we think that we are really very talented and very great, but very little we know that what an elephant can do, right? Isn't it? Yeah. In terms of sleeping, right? We have the polar bears and all, right? What an amazing, facility they have. Sometimes an engineering student thinks that, when that day will come, right? Then I'll just lie down, probably after some exams and all. So, yeah. So we are all trying to achieve something in our life, right? Next, if you go to mating, right? Uh, you know, like humans, they are trying to almost imitate like an animal only these days. If you see, right, animals they can do so much. Rather, the pigeons, the monkeys, they are able to do free sex as much as they want. So, but human beings cannot, right? They have limitations, isn't it? Same way in terms of defending also, right? So there are animals, can defend so well. Right? Yeah. So they are very common in both animals and humans. Right? That's why we'll find in terms of all these animals, we are very far in terms of even these four things: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Right? Yeah. So if animals have rational power and intelligence, then can we say that animals are far better than human beings in terms of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending? Right? So then again the question comes: if animals have so many skills, right? Then who is superior? Right? And in what sense a human being, is superior to animals then? Yes. Any inputs, Keshav?
So we have uh, biologically we have a thing called metacognition. That means we can think about thinking, or we can think in in others' shoes. So that is some, like, we can empathize. Like most of the animals can't. That makes us a little different from animals, and also way more superior, because we can think that way. We have like the most advanced brains in the entire universe.
Okay, interesting. Very nice. Very something out of the box that you have told. Yes, very nice. So, uh, okay, don't you think animals are also having that ability? You think that animals are not so intelligent the way how human beings are? I'll tell you one scenario. Like if you take any animal, say for example a cat, if you leave some item in the kitchen, say some milk or something, you think cat is uh, you know going to come when everybody is around? No, right? She is very intelligent. She knows exactly what is her time to come. So she has a code actually, written on her script, So she actually tries to compile it and execute it. Right? What we are trying to compile and execute, right? Using Eclipse or whatever softwares, some of our little way. So man thinks that only he is intelligent. Actually, every species is having that rational sense. So the question again comes that what do you think? In what sense animals or humans have are something different? Right? It looks exactly that both are having intelligence. Rather, the animals sometimes exhibit sometimes more also. Like we saw some of the animals in terms of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. They have more power and more greater ability than what even human beings can conceive of. So the question again comes back: then in what way we are superior? Yeah, anything?
No, sir, now,
Huh.
now it's questionable.
You are checkmate. Okay, so we will see that. So intelligence doesn't make like actually in one sense animals are also intelligent. So intelligence, uh, you know, in what sense we have to understand, right? So animals are also very intelligent in terms of catching the prey, right? Yeah. But then what is something very special? So people think that we have created so many wonderful things, right? Which animals cannot. Probably this can be one of the answers. Many times I give many sessions in corporates and many other colleges like IITs and NITs. So people they speak about all these things that man can make some skyscraper buildings, some fire planes, jet planes, and all those technology, right? Whereas where is all these things in the animals? Yeah, we are all coming from the latest computer science background and IT sectors and all, right? So people they talk about all these things. Don't you think like that? What do you think? Is this the real difference between animals and humans, Keshav?
It's like an appreciable difference, but I don't know if that it's the only difference.
Okay. So we'll try to talk on that. So the question is human being only a two-legged, sophisticated deluxe edition of animals? Or is he in any way superior to animals? Right? So if that was the case, then probably if you say that okay, we have science and technology and we have the latest communication technology and the latest scientific advancement, then that goes to show that with the help of that same advancement, we would be more happier, right, than the animals, isn't it? But unfortunately, you will find totally the opposite is happening. We are still dissatisfied, isn't it? We are full of anxiety, and so much stressed. We are depressed, right? Above all, unhappy. So technological advancement helps men enjoy better luxuries for better eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, without offering any ultimate aim of life. Right? So this is nothing but sophisticated animal civilization only, right? Isn't it? Rather, that technological advancement has not made you happy also, has not made you satisfied, free from anxiety. Rather, you have become more anxious now. If you look at animals, they are at a far peaceful situation. Far more talented than us in all these four aspects of life: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. They don't have to work like what we have to work. They don't have to learn new technologies that are there in the market, Java, Android, and then so many other technologies are coming, isn't it? Every now and then, the front-end technologies, there is no bar to it. You know, like way back when I had given my interviews, I still remember when I got selected in JP Morgan when I was in my 7th semester. So that time, we used to mostly companies, they were especially this multinational banks and all. If you want to get selected in such companies, then mostly many companies, they don't test in the interview time that how many technologies you know. Rather, their understanding is in terms of interview is whatever you know, but how deeply you know that technology, and secondly, whether you know the basis, you know, of all the technologies, because the basics and the foundation of all the technology, whether that be front end, middle end, whatever, the basics remains the same. The foundation, that means the logic. So, what is more important at the time of interview is one of the interview tip or career guidance. So, what is more important is whether you have understood the basis or the foundation, isn't it? So human beings are trying their level best to try to become happy, but then their foundation is not very clear. It seems animals, they are having such a cozy life. They don't have to take so much stress. And more interesting, you will not find any, kind of crisis in animal life. You will not find there is some corona lockdown period. Right? Rather, this whole COVID, right? This COVID-19, this coronavirus has started from animals only, right? I hope you are aware of it, right? It has started from the bats, and later on they said it has gone to this pangolin. Right? It is kind of a very costly animal. Right? I heard that some 1 kg of that pangolin, people they actually eat this animal. So it has all started from there. 1 kg of pangolin costs some 24,000 or something like that. It's very costly. So animals are not having much trouble, right? So you will not find they undergo such kind of spreading of coronaviruses or some diseases, right? They are free to roam anywhere. No more tension. Okay. So what makes human beings superior to animal then? Yeah, so we'll try to recite this very beautiful shloka because science doesn't have an answer. So whenever science doesn't have an answer, we'll always see that how the Vedic literatures, they give us a very perfect solution to all the problems of life and how to find solution to it. You can unmute yourself and we'll try to recite this very beautiful shloka. This is from Mahabharata. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha
Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha
samanyameta pashubhir naranam
सामान्यमेधात् पशुभिर् नरानम्
dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho
धर्मो हि तेषामधिको विशेषो
धर्मे नहि न पशुभिः समानः.
धर्मेण हि न पशुभिः समानः.
Please read the translation.
The activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending are common in animals and human beings.
Yeah, go ahead.
The human beings are considered superior only when they inquire about God and perform the dharma of obeying His laws, loving and serving Him. Otherwise, they are considered just animals.
Yeah. So see, very clearly the scriptures are telling us, it's like an eye opener. It's very clearly they are telling ahara. The Sanskrit is so nice, one of the very nice language. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithun. Ahar means eating, nidra means sleeping, bhaya means defending, and maithun is, in engaging in mating. It is said that they are very common in animals and human beings. And then the third and fourth line of this shloka, dharmo hi tesham. And they say how we are superior to the animal. So here it says very clearly, without any ambiguity, it says dharmo hi tesham. That when we do dharma, and what is that dharma? So dharma means obeying God's laws, loving and serving Him. Otherwise, it says dharmena hina pashubhi samana. Otherwise, we are just like animals only. Because all of these activities are very common in every species of life. Not only human beings can make some very good facility for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, but then every species of life, this is what they are trying to do in their life. They are trying to, even so far technological advancement. The aim is what? The aim is to try to achieve these four things only, right? Like you see, even we are trying to do engineering and work so hard. Ultimately, we are all searching for happiness, isn't it? We are all searching to try to improvise, our condition. Probably, to have a nice place for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Like once I was giving this session, and one boy said that, sir, we can eat in 5-star hotels, but animals cannot. You think it's a good argument?
No.
He went that, sir, we can stay on the 29th floor, but the animals, they are sleeping on floor, on the roads only. So the point is, he said, sir, human beings can, enjoy so nicely. They can have, very nice facility for having, sex life. Animals, they are, they don't have a place also, to do, very nicely. They have to somehow or other engage that activity. But human beings has created such nice facility that they can go in the room, lock it down very nicely. They can engage themselves. Of course, now there is a competition in that, right, with animals. Right? So even human beings want to come out now and enjoy or show to the whole world that how they are also competing with animals now. Right? Congratulations. That is advancement. This man is thinking that we are also competent in terms of these activities, right? That we can also do very similar to animals. So is it advancement or is it degradation? Right? Yeah. So we have to question all these things, right? So I said that, look, whether we are trying to eat in 5-star hotels and the animal is eating on the floor, but then our perception is that only we are enjoying eating in a 5-star hotel, but we have no idea and no conception that the animals are having the equal pleasure. A very simple example is, if you see a pig or a hog, sewer, you know what is one of the delicious item for hog, Keshav? Of course, nothing like to be discussed, but but we know, right, what is something very special for a hog. If you give him very fresh, if you give him, he likes it so much. So he likes the stool. Yeah, so he likes the stool, the hog.
Acha. Okay.
So that is a special, recipe. Rather the hog becomes very happy, and the more fresh you give him, the more he will become happy. He will actually come behind you wherever you go. I don't know whether you have experienced this sometimes in villages and the hometowns, right? It's very difficult sometimes to chase away, the hogs when we go, out on the fields sometimes. Of course, nowadays we don't get to see all those things, but right? But if you go to some very rural areas, right, where people, they don't have the facilities of the proper toilet and things like that, right? They go outside, right? Some places and all. Sometimes the hawks come, right? So we don't know the pleasure of such animals while trying to have such very fresh, very hot, right? So we think that only I am enjoying in the five-star hotel, but that is a limited understanding, right? So the animals are also much more enjoying, right, at their own respective places. So then, rather, they don't have to. That's what you are seeing. They are having less anxiety because they don't have to work like us, accumulate money and things like that. They are very peacefully doing it, right? Because just by going in five-star hotel, we have to work hard also, right? You should have some money. So that means, something is going away also from us. We have a limited enjoyment facility. Once we have done that, we cannot, again do that unless we have the power like that. Same with sleeping also. Right? We have to take so much stress, right? कोई चोर आ गया तो then we have to consider about defending ourselves. Lock लगाते हैं, ताला लगाते हैं. Right? We think of saving our bank balance very properly, so that nobody can do some phishing attack or try to steal away. All those things, right? Online banking and all. But animals are least bothered about all those things, right? And we don't know also how much they are enjoying sleeping on the roadside, right? Like if you see dogs, they are having such nice place, right? You think they are less enjoying or they are less happy as compared to us? No, rather they are so happy, sleeping on the floor. So the point that I am trying to bring out is the activity is the same, that is eating, sleeping, mating and defending. As far as happiness is concerned in that activity, as we mentioned that is our perception that I am receiving more happiness than the other species, right? But we don't know at all because we cannot understand. And by the activities we can understand that surely they are having more abilities than us and they are free from anxiety, free from depression while even doing those activities of eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Yeah. So the joy, the kind of happiness that they are deriving, what we are trying to derive from our so-called advancement, communication technology, jet planes, skyscraper buildings and everything, right? So, that kind of happiness, they are also deriving. It may be that their circumstances and situations are different from what we are trying to undergo, but still the level of happiness and kind of joy that they experience in their activities is the same. And that is why the third line and fourth line has to be understood very properly. That human beings are considered superior only when they inquire about God and perform the dharma of obeying His laws, loving and serving Him. Otherwise, they are considered just like animals. Interesting, right? So animals can only inquire about eating, sleeping, mating, and fearing only, defending. But man can inquire, the human being can inquire about life, death, and beyond. Right? So he can understand about the karma philosophy that we had already discussed, right? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So he can understand about that something is beyond this life also. That there are so many species of life. Right? We have discussed very nicely in the previous sessions about it. Yeah, so human beings surely have higher intelligence. Yes, so we are not denying that. So we were discussing that animals are also intelligent and human beings are also intelligent. And surely human beings have higher intelligence than animals. But in what sense we have to clarify? Right? So this intelligence the human beings has been given to actually find out, not just eating, sleeping, mating and defending or how to improvise on this, but to actually find out the cause of these sufferings. Right? We believe that we are suffering, isn't it? By coronavirus, the pandemic situation, isn't it? By our, mind, body, so many sufferings are there. We'll also discuss today in this session, right? That what are the real problems of life. So to find out the cause of sufferings, right? And that is why we have been gifted this higher intelligence, isn't it? Which animals cannot, isn't it? They have limited understanding. This intelligence we have been gifted, we have been given to inquire about the purpose of life, right? But what is my purpose of life? We have already discussed that in the previous sessions. That if you see any machine, this universe, our own life, automatically two questions should come up in our understanding. But why am I suffering? And what is the purpose of my life, right? And to harmonize our life with God and nature, right? To attain eternal happiness, isn't it? So this is why this higher intelligence has been gifted, to the human beings, and not just to, because we are knocking the door. We have higher intelligence, but then this intelligence is given not for asking for where is better place to eat, maybe in 5-star hotel, in some 3-star hotel, or some other place. This intelligence is not given to us so that we can find it out, that this is the best place to sleep, or this is the very nice apartment where I can go. Right? This intelligence is not been gifted so that we actually find out a better place, some better bank, to defend ourselves, right? Better lock facilities and secured places. Surely, we, we surely take care about those things also in life. But then this is not what this higher intelligence is given for. Right? It is something like, I think we have already discussed this, or no? It is something like, you have been gifted the Mercedes-Benz car. Yeah, I think we have discussed this, right? It is something like we have been gifted the Mercedes-Benz car by the company. And then where are we using that? We are trying to use it for plowing our fields, in the villages. खेती करने के लिए use कर रहे हैं उसको, Mercedes-Benz को, right? That means 50 lakh rupees you spend, and how are you using that? To actually खुदाई करने के लिए use कर रहे हैं, right? To actually till the land. You think is this really intelligence? Rather, your friend will see that, he will accuse you. He will say that, "Arey, I will give you 4 lakh का tractor आता है." वो tractor will be, will do better job rather. Right? The tractor will do a better job than your Mercedes-Benz also. Why are you wasting this opportunity? Right? The Mercedes-Benz is like higher intelligence. And we compared with human beings having higher intelligence, and the tractor is compared with animal, species with less intelligence, right? So animal species are actually more capable of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. If you want only these 4 things to improvise, in your life. I hope you are able to understand this analogy. Very beautiful analogy, isn't it? Okay, so your choice will decide your future. Yes. So we have a choice whether we want to get promoted in our higher life, right? Or we want to get ourselves demoted to the lower forms of life, right? We have understood that there is not only one life. There are many lives, right? In the last session, we had a very elaborate discussion on this. And we had very scientifically understood that, people who think there is only one life, they are in ignorance, right? They are in illusion. So we are understood by the, very nice common sense, many such factors we have seen in the last session, that depending on what is of my desire, right, at the time of death, and what is my karma, how I live my lifestyle, right? So I can either promote myself to higher life, right? Or I can demote also myself. So the next life depends on, how I make choices, very, interesting choices in this life, right? Yeah. So we have got this reasoning power to actually ask these 2 questions in our life: Why am I suffering, and what is the goal of my life, or what is the purpose of my life, right? So we'll see the first question first. That why am I suffering? Isn't it? We are all suffering the most terrible pandemic, the novel coronavirus. Right? So surely this question will be there, and we'll take this question ahead, that why we are suffering through this very terrible disease. Right? And time and again, if you look back in the past also, time and again we have come across, such sufferings, such pandemic strikes, right? This is not the first time, right, that we are all undergoing through this pandemic strikes, right? In the past, many times it has happened, right? So I told you about in the last session, right? We had discussed about the many pandemic strikes that has happened. Correct? No, I think I have shown you that slide, right? I had done that research on the pandemic strikes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the Asian flu, the flu pandemic, the bubonic plague, right? So many times such things have happened, right? Already in the past. So we have seen that so much suffering is there. So why am I suffering like that? Time and again, there should be some understanding behind it, right? Are we suffering by chance? But surely we have understood in the previous session that nothing happens by chance, right? Surely there should be some reason behind it. We have understood that. So in this session, we'll try to understand, a little bit more about this. But before we encounter this question and try to understand that why am I suffering, right? Let us understand that what is the problem first. What are the problems of life through which we are undergoing this suffering, isn't it? Because they say that before building the project or before trying to understand or trying to find the solution for a question, let us first deeply understand the question that what is my problem first, isn't it? If you are very clear with the problem, then you will be able to find the solution very quickly, it is said. It will take less time to find the solution for a problem, provided you first know the problem very properly. That's why they always have in a product life cycle, if you see, or the software life cycle, they say the first thing is problem definition, right? They ask you to actually define the problem. So that is what we are trying to, or we are going to do that. We'll try to analyze and understand first that what is the real problem of life. When you can say that the problem is a real problem. Yeah, so we'll try to list it down in the chat box and try to understand, and you can give me some problems which you think that is a real problem, or whatever problems that we are undergoing, we'll just try to list it down, right? Maybe the first one we can list it down is the novel coronavirus only, right? It's one of the problems, right, that everybody is suffering out of it. So I'm just listing it down one by one. The novel coronavirus, right, in the chat box, you can see that. Any other problem that you think that the world is undergoing as of now? Okay, poverty. Yes, so we are undergoing poverty. Yeah, very nice. So poverty is one of the problems. Anything else? Okay, unemployment. Very nice. Yeah. So yes, certainly so many people are unemployed, right? Okay. What else? We'll try to solve this and understand whether is it a real problem, right? Anything else that you think that this is the problem? Okay, improper hygiene. Okay, improper hygiene. Uh, People are not taking care of sufficient. They don't have water also to drink properly, right? I heard right. Many places are there in the world still that they are not receiving even water facilities properly. Very good, nice. What else? Okay, insufficient healthcare support. Yeah, good, very nice. What else? What else you think is a problem? Okay, HIV, cancer. Yes, very nice. So that is like really, actually, people are dying more of HIV cancer than even novel coronavirus, right? Now till date, only I think beyond some 4 lakh may have gone, right, in terms of deaths, that has happened due to this coronavirus. So, but then if you see the kind of and the count of deaths that are happening through HIV and cancer is much more, actually, much more. We can't even compare also with this coronavirus. Only thing is that this coronavirus has come now only, and within short time only, in 14 days the disease comes and you die also. and that is why it is a little more critical. But actually, if you just check the death rates and all as compared to other diseases like HIV, cancer, and all, people are much more suffering out of it. Very nice, good. What else you think is the problem? Okay, so I think we'll try to see one by one and understand. Okay, corruption is a problem. Very nice. Yeah. So corruption, yes. So the most corrupt people you will find is the politicians and the many such people like that, right? So many corruption is happening, right? Bhrashtachar. People are trying to bribe each other. People are trying to make use of all those illegal means, right? To actually earn more money or fame or whatever, right? Yeah, very true. Right, very true. And I think we can go on and on. It will never finish because all is that we are seeing is a problem only, right, in this world that are happening. So let us take one by one, right, each of these problems and understand that are these problems, how great is the problem, right? Can we call these problems as real problems? But before that, let us understand the definition of real problem. So our Vedic scriptures, they tell us, the definition of real problem. So there are three conditions when you can call a problem as a real problem, right? But it should fulfill these three criteria. Very interesting this is. Have a look. The first criteria is it is common to all. That means the problem that you have listed, it should be common to all. What do I mean by all? I mean that problem should be a problem, right from the pauper in the street, to the President of India, to the Prime Minister of India, the President of America, to the Miss India, Miss Universe, anybody. It should be a common problem for everyone. Then you can call that actual problem is a real problem, right? Okay, second criteria is that the problem you have listed, it should, nobody wants it. Again, who is this nobody? This nobody means again the same kind of people, right? There is including of right from the pauper in the street to everyone, right? Then the third criteria is that nobody can avoid it. It's not that just by going underground or taking some measures you can avoid that problem. No, nobody can avoid that problem, right? No matter whatever you do, you have to undergo that problem. Okay, so now let's take one by one all those things from the chat box that we have listed out, right? And try to check, whether it fulfills all these three criteria. Let's go. So Keshav, yes, so let's take the novel coronavirus, the very, very deadly, which is, really making everyone so much worried as of now, right? And we are actually worried, no doubt about it. Right? So let us take this first problem only, the novel coronavirus. Let us see the first condition. Is it common to all? What do you think, Keshav? Let us check.
So like this susceptibility is common.
Pardon?
The susceptibility of the virus is quite common.
Okay, no, but then
But everyone does not have it.
yeah, so that means it has, yes, it is there. Many people are suffering out of it. Maybe many beggars may have also caught this problem, but then can you say that it is common to all? Can we say that everyone is undergoing by that problem?
No.
Yeah, probably not, right? Surely, it is a common problem, right? Because the coronavirus will not check or will not, tell that, okay, here is a president of India or here is, president of America, so I should not come to this person. ऐसा तो नहीं है, right? That means, yes, this virus is actually common in terms of, in terms of spreading, right? It is actually a common problem. That's why you will find the president or the anybody is everybody is cautious, right? Isn't it? That means surely it actually fulfills the first criteria if you see like that, right? So it is common to all, right? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, let us see the second criteria for this novel coronavirus. Nobody wants it. Certainly, right? This also gets fulfilled if you see, right? Do you think the Miss India, Miss Universe, the president, they want this virus? No, right? Nobody wants it. The pauper in the street, to the everyone, nobody wants that. Right? Let us check the third criteria. Nobody can avoid it. That means the pauper in the street to the president, Miss India, Miss Universe, nobody can avoid it, is it? Or you can avoid it, right? It's not that you can't avoid it, right? If you take some hot water and things like that, isn't it? You can actually try to avoid it, right? Isn't it? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
So that means the first two criteria are satisfied, but then the third criteria is not satisfied actually, if you see. Right? So yes, it is a common problem to all. Everyone can get this and nobody wants it, yes. But then with special measures and care and things like that, you can actually avoid it. Okay. So that means it is not a real problem. How is it? Yeah, it is a temporary problem, isn't it? It's not a real problem. It's not a permanent problem, right? Tomorrow some medicines may come up, right? At least we hope for that. Right? Certainly it will come up, right? We are all researching and all. So, yeah, it's a temporary problem, right? In the past also many such things have happened, right? At one point of time they were very deadly, but then as time passed, there were some remedies and medicines have come up, right? Isn't it? So with some precautions, with something you can avoid it, right? Rather the coronavirus, the best thing to avoid it is what? That will keep a very good immunity, right? We were discussing also that so many people they are recovering back from corona is because of the good immunity only, isn't it? So there are ways and means to come out of this, right? So it's a temporary problem. So don't take so much worry about the novel coronavirus. Right? Okay, let's take the another problem, that is poverty, that you have listed down, right? So let's check again, is it common to all? Are everyone suffering through poverty? The pauper in the street to the Miss India, Miss Universe, president? No, right? That is the first condition itself is not satisfied, right? Isn't it, Keshav?
Yes, sir.
So that means poverty is also not a real problem. Let us take unemployment. Again, the first condition itself will find many of such problems gets ruled out in the first, criteria itself, right? It is not common to all, right? It may be common to many states or many kind of, rural villages, you can say. It may not be common to all kinds of people or all kinds of countries or something like that. But then, again, because we are checking for real problem. So it can be, it is surely a problem of unemployment, but then especially, yes, you will be surprised to know that every year, lakhs and lakhs of people gets passed out of an engineering college. So your question is very nice that, sir, unemployment, people are not getting jobs. Very little is, hardly some 1 lakh or 2 lakh people are actually getting employed. Out of 10 lakh people, if they pass out, like that. So, but then, it's not a common problem to all, right? At least there are many people who are getting jobs. So, okay, let's take next, improper hygiene. Again, we'll find all of these problems if you just see improper hygiene, insufficient healthcare support, even HIV, cancer, right? You can avoid it. Yes, you can say HIV and cancer, or improper hygiene, insufficient healthcare support, right? It can be a common problem, but then you can avoid it, right? You can very easily avoid it. In terms of HIV, cancer, yes, it is a common problem. Again, it is like novel coronavirus only, right? It is common to all. Nobody wants it, right? And nobody can avoid it also. Of course, if you take some special care and attention, then you can avoid that also, right? And corruption, again, it is a common problem to all. No, right? It may be some states and many places may be affected by that, right? But you can avoid it, right? You can avoid that very easily with the help of guidance and things like that. Okay, then the question comes then, sir, what is the real problem then? We have actually, ruled out everything, right? From the list that we have got it. Somehow we have made that list, right? We had put it out on the chat box. Right? So then what is the real problem of life? Keshav?
So now like I just like death.
Okay, very nice. Good. So you have cracked the coding interview. There is a very special book called as Cracking the Coding Interview. You will actually come to know, as you come in the second, third year, or you'll be preparing for your interviews. Yes, so you have cracked, the first answer to it, right? Okay, death. Let us see. It is common to all. Yes, right. That means everyone has to pass through that. Whether you call yourself Miss India, Miss Universe, anybody, right? So many film stars, they are dying. Everyone has to die, isn't it? Nobody wants it, right? Who wants to die? Right? There will not be able to find. Even the beggar will say that I don't want to die, right? Although he's beggar, he doesn't have anything, but still he will say I don't want to die. Nobody can avoid it. Yeah, you can't say that. Okay, coronavirus you can avoid it. Because I heard that this North Korea का जो president है ना, this he had actually gone underground for many months. He was underground only. This and whole thing was happening. Even I believe the same would be happening in China also. That because so many, it was spreading like anything, right? At that time, so many of these people had gone underground, to save themselves. Especially this president of North Korea, I heard like that. So yeah, you can avoid coronavirus by going underground, but can you say that by going underground I will not die? I can avoid death. No, right? आप underground जाओ कि ऊपर आसमान में चले जाओ, right? Anywhere you go, right? You will have to undergo death, right? Okay, good, very nice. What else you think is a real problem of life? Keshav?
Suffering.
Okay, not exactly suffering. Can we call this term a disease in one sense? Actually, see, you may not get coronavirus, you can avoid corona, because we saw that corona, HIV, cancer, it is common to all. Nobody wants it, but then maybe some disease you can avoid it, isn't it? Let's say you may avoid coronavirus by drinking hot water or some immunity, this and that, right? But can you say that you can eradicate every other disease, and I can totally remain safe lifelong? You can't say that, right? Because that is how you actually, something will go wrong, isn't it? So diseases are going to surely occur to a person. Whether you're president, prime minister, anybody you may be, right? Ultimately, we all, our body, will automatically get succumbed. That is the reason why we die actually, right? Because, eventually the cells, in our system and all, right? They go worn out, they get diseases, right? That's how we die. Otherwise, everything is all right. Something will go wrong, right? The blood pressure, the flow of blood, right? That's how the clotting will happen and the heart attack will happen or something like that. So some has to come, right? To actually make you die. So can we say, on the broader sense, the diseases are the common problem or the real problem, right? So it is common to all. Nobody wants it and nobody can avoid it, right? You may be anybody in this world, isn't it, Keshav?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else do you think is a real problem of life? Okay. Can we say old age is also a real problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you say that, okay, I am the president of America, so I should not get old? Rather, he's an old fellow only, right? Right? Or you can say that, okay, I miss India, miss universe, I should not get old. No, right? You know, we have seen so many people have came, their beauty had got perished, over a period of time, right? They are all old people now, right? So, old age is a real problem, right? Nobody wants it. Who wants to get old? The whole cosmetic industry is after that only, right? They're all trying to earn so much money because people want to look as young. Nobody wants to look old, right? Even when white hair comes, they may want to make it yellow, blue, or brown, whatever you call, but nobody wants to have that. Of course, there will be some exception, but then nobody wants to look themselves as old. They don't want to, any symptoms also of that old age, right? Okay, good. So we have successfully able to list out 3 real problems of life. Right? There is one more. There are 4 real problems which we will understand in this next slide. Yeah, this is interesting. Right? Yeah, so old age, right? People were young at one point of time, but then they are no more as of now. So we want to remain young forever, right? But very soon we start growing old and our bodies become weak and frail, right? Okay, so these are the 4 real problems of life, right? 3 already we had listed out. Now you might be wondering about the 4th real problem, right? 3 we have already discussed and came to the understanding that yes, it is a real problem. Now this 4th one looks little scary and isn't it? What do you think, Keshav?
So the like birth, like who doesn't want birth?
I mean, you are in support of that, or you agree that yes, it's a real problem.
I couldn't understand how that is a problem.
Yeah, so there is a video for that, right? Any difficult concept, I have a video for that to help us to understand that. So just watch this video, very interesting video, which I could get actually. We'll try to share this again. I hope you are getting benefited, right, by those quizzes and videos that we are sending.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, good. See if you are able to see my screen. I'll just share my screen. So it was a little horrifying, right? Okay. So you think it is a very pleasant experience? Actually, what happens at the time of birth is you would have seen, right, that how the child, when he's in the womb, it's very difficult time actually for a child to, undergo that whole experience. Actually, so much pain the child undergoes. You would have seen the condition of the child when he's in the womb. He's somehow adjusting. His head is falling sometimes this side, sometimes that side, right? You can ask the mothers also; they will tell that how it is actually. So for the mother, the surely it is a pain, but we are just speaking now for the child level. That how much the child actually undergoes suffering. There are so many, this microorganisms are there, right? So many microbes are there, right, in the stomach, which actually bites very constantly. You would have seen in the video, right? It is a very, very, simple understanding. Uh, let's say I, lock you in one room, say for 2 hours. It's a small room, maybe one room only, very small room. And yes, in that small room, if I lock you for 2 hours, right, what you will do? You think it will be a very, very good situation for you in that room, Keshav? Of course, I will not give you any internet facility also. Don't think that I'm going to leave you with all those WhatsApp and internet. Right? Because I think in this lockdown period, if you remove this also, suddenly the whole internet has been switched off and all the operating systems and the operators, they all stop their signals and all. Probably many people you will find next day only in the newspaper will come people committing suicides, isn't it? Because okay, lockdown is there, but then in this lockdown period, at least you should be given some internet access. Right? The companies will collapse. The CEO of the company will commit suicide probably. Right? Because many of us are working from home, right? This day, right? Rather, we are also having the session on Zoom only, right? Online. So you will see that in that room, if I lock you up in for 2 hours without anything, there is no window, nothing, practically nothing. It's a dark room, right? Will you not think of coming out of that room, Keshav?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And what to speak of 2 hours? Now, if I make you, lock up in that room for 24 hours, situation is going to be more worse, right? For 2 days, if I lock you in that room, not only 24 hours, for 2 days. Okay, not now 2 days, right? I'm going to lock you up for 2 months now. My Lord, I don't know whether we will be existing, right? We need so much, right? We need, we need social life. We need to breathe air peacefully and all, right? Like that is a situation for a small child, but in the mother's womb. Not for 2 months. Also, he is there. He is there for 9 months, right? In that closed room, very small. It is not like one small, big room, so that you can sleep also. Sometimes some engineering student also, how much you will sleep? Maximum. Of course, we are all having a competition in hostels and in our places that we live, right? Sometimes people have competition. How much you can sleep? But you just can't sleep for 9 months, right? Right? So that's why the doctors they tell that is one of the reason why the child cries so much at the time of birth, right? We don't see the child is very happy. Because the child has undergone so much miserable situation in the stomach. He is not able to eat food. The food is directly connected, right? With the food pipe of the child is connected to the food pipe of the mother, right? Whatever the mother takes. And these days, mother takes horrible substances, right? The modern day and age that we are living in. People, they are smoking, right? Even the girls and the mothers, right? This modern day that we are all living in, right? They are smoking cigarette, consuming all those obnoxious things and all, right? Watching dirty things, right? So the child is actually, receiving all those things. You think the child is happy in the stomach, Keshav?
No, sir.
Yeah. So having known this, now I think we all agree, right? That who want to undergo that experience again, right? So that's why the Bhagavad Gita says very beautiful shloka that comes in the Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita calls these four problems the real problems of life. Very interesting. It says, Indriyartham hi vairagyam ahankara itiyam janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. So the Bhagavad Gita says janma mrityu jara and vyadhi. These are the four real problems of life. Janma is birth, Janma Mrityu is death, Janma Mrityu Jara, Jara is old age, and Vyadi is diseases. These are the four real problems of life, and every intelligent man, every intelligent human being is supposed or not supposed, he is given that facility of higher intelligence to actually find out how to get out of these real problems of life. And that is why this intelligence is given, and not to the animals. Yeah, this is what we just discussed. This shloka is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Also, apart from these four real problems of life, we also are undergoing with something called as Adhyatmika Klesh. There are three more problems to the four real problems of life, right? So these are called as Adhyatmik Klesh. That means miseries due to our own body and mind. So you will see that, right? That our own body and mind are also giving so much trouble. Like we are having headaches, we are having a very great problem in flowing of blood pressure, and because of which people we are seeking out help, right? So much mental diseases are there, right? Academic pressure and stress, right? So teens are committing suicides because of that, isn't it? I hope you will agree with that, right? That we are all suffering because of our own body and mind. We have so much mental issues. Somebody has not given us respect and things like that, and our mind goes in really crazy. The second problem that we are undergoing is called as Adhi Bhautik Klesh. It is miseries due to other living entities. Right? And I think here we will try to fit in all those people who are giving us troubles, right? Even a small mosquito or a small coronavirus, you can say in one sense, right? Is Adhi Bhautik Klesh, right? That means miseries due to other living entities. You are going peacefully, somebody comes and attacks on you or tries to take away your wallet, as you can see in one of the pictures, right? Or a snake comes or a mosquito comes, right? The coronavirus comes, right? You have not done anything, right? Probably your karma surely is there. But then that is called as Adhi Bhautik Klesh, right? Misery is due to other living entities. And there is Adhi Daivika Klesh, right? That is misery is due to natural disasters, right? So, and so many earthquakes and whatnot, right? The Nisarga, right? That we all had an experience here in Mumbai some time back. Of course, it was at the time of Nisarga when they were predicting that Nisarga has to come on that day. At that day, nothing much happened, I think, in the entire Mumbai. But then, after some days, some 3-4 days, after that, very strong wind came and very strong rains came. I think that was kind of some damage happened and things like that. Like nearby my vicinity, also 2 trees got collapsed. Very huge trees, coconut trees. Coconut trees are generally very strong. So yeah, so we are all undergoing through natural disasters, isn't it? The Nisarga or what was the name of that hurricane which has come in West Bengal and all those places? I forgot that. It has come now only. What they called it as? I forgot the name of that.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So although we are advanced, right, in medical science and have latest technology at our disposal, right? But still, our plans of good health and happiness are actually, are actually thwarted, right, with newer and newer diseases, isn't it? Like men thought that okay, now I have eradicated smallpox, but then chickenpox came. Then man thought that okay, now chickenpox is gone forever because of our medical science. But then some other problem came and hit, and that was the more deadliest disease has come. So one problem you solve, and then another bigger problem comes, right? So then HIV came, AIDS came, right? Much more difficult problems have come, right? So the more you try to solve and more you try to prove that we are better and we can eradicate all the problems with the help of medical science, the more the nature and the karma, right, is very powerful. So we cannot just easily get rid of it, right? Rather, who is this person? Right? He is the Muhammad Ali, right? So he used to say that I am the greatest, right? So he used to claim that nobody can defeat him, right? But you know what was happening? He had actually undergone, you know, with this Parkinson's disease. So because of this, he couldn't even lift a cup of coffee also. So of course, he now left, right? Maybe in 2016 or something, he passed away. But then at that time, he used to claim that I am the greatest, right? But then he was suffering with Parkinson's disease. At that time, his state was that he couldn't lift even a cup of coffee also. Even when he was being called in the Olympics also to lift the torch. He actually couldn't lift the torch also. That was his state. He couldn't do anything. So what do you think is greatness? Where it has gone? Right? So man always thinks that he is the greatest, right? But then very little we can claim that in our life for a very short time. Yeah. So even with lot of money, best doctors and medicines, people still continue to have problems, right? So Muhammad Ali, or even this, I don't know whether you know about this Superman. So the Superman was there. The person who acted, this as a Superman, I forgot his name. Uh, just after releasing the movie only, you know, he actually, I think he committed, he actually, really, he was so much taken aback, right? Actually, I think he died or something, just after that movie only or something like that. So in practical life, you'll find everybody is afflicted by these problems, right? So nobody is actually in practical life a Superman or a Superwoman, right? So now, why even these great personalities they suffer? That is a question to be asked. So men may live longer, but they're not happier, right? So science gives many patch-up solutions. Right? So science gives many patch-up solutions. Like one newspaper, it said that the so-called gone diseases are attacking back after 10 days. Like problems like SARS, right? This coronavirus, such deadly diseases have come, right? Nobody can even touch the patient, right? So this is what is happening, right? This is the SARS problem, right? The coronavirus, right? The doctors are dying. Yeah. So scientific advancement means newer and newer ways of covering up the reality. Nothing else. So, so people very falsely they say or claim that khao piyo maja karo, isn't it? But wise philosophy is to be, person who is little wise, he will understand. But actually, the real thing is not khao piyo maja karo, but actually to find it out that every one of us is suffering. I am also suffering. right? And yes, I can claim if I can, if my body is fit and fine, I may not be suffering through coronavirus or through other such problems. I may not be suffering through earthquakes or such kind of adi bhautik klesh or adi daivik klesh. But can we claim that I am free from these four real problems of life? No, right? We are all suffering, through some or the other diseases, to some or the other pains. Right? Probably at the time of birth, we may have forgotten the pain that we have undergone, right? But then, is that mean that the pain was not there? No, right? We may have forgotten the pain, and but then very soon we are going to get afflicted with much more greater pain that may be caused by some of our loved and dear ones. Right? Yeah. So body. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So science is trying to give some passive solution, right? Painkiller, khao, and the problem will be solved. But you think the problem is actually going to solve? No, right? You are just hiding the problem. The problem is actually not solved. And one person had gone to a doctor. The doctor had understood it without diagnosing much. The patient said that I have got a boil in my left hand. A boil, सूज जाता है ना. It's a kind of clotting had happened. So the doctor gave him the painkiller, the allopathy. So then this patient, that boil went away. But then just after one day only the boil has come from left hand to his right hand. The patient again went to the doctor. The allopathic doctor again gave him the medicine. Then from right hand it has come to his right knee. घुटने में आ गया वो boil. So then the patient was really worried. Hey, what's happening? This doctor is giving medicine, but then the problem goes from one place and the problem comes to some other place. So is it really, is it really scientific advancement that you have solved this problem? No, you have just patched up the problem, right? So then he went to this Ayurvedic doctor, and the Ayurvedic doctor understood that the problem, is not of the boil. Actually, the problem is your blood is impure. So let us cure the blood now first, and then this problem will not reoccur. So then the Ayurvedic doctor was very intelligent. So then he actually gave this patient, he treated his blood first. He purified his blood. Then this problem didn't reoccur. So the Vedic solutions, because Ayurveda is also part of Veda. The Vedic solutions helps us to actually solve the real problem of this life. Yeah, so one scientist said that now man can fly like the bird in the sky and swim like a fish underwater in a submarine. Right? Very interesting research. But then the only problem is, he can't walk on land like a human being because of pollution. Right? So we are trying to imitate, certain things which we are not supposed to actually. Like it's not that you have to fly only to prove yourself that you are superior or something, or you have to go underwater in water only, right? To prove that you can also swim like a fish. But rather, what we are entitled to do, which is at least have a peaceful walk on the ground. But that we can't do, right? Because of so much pollution and so much, Right? So what are we great about? Right? Science has invented bombs that can blast living bodies into pieces, right? They can't create life, isn't it? These are the solutions that science is providing, right? To some of the to some of the material problems. Superficial patch-up solutions cannot free us from suffering, isn't it? Patch up the problems to fool the people for some time, right? But then very soon it is going to the reality will be seen very soon, isn't it? You can see that picture in the left hand side. When the prince was in costume, the princess saw that, oh, this is so beautiful, the prince is going on a horse. But then very soon, in the next slide, on the opposite side, you can see that was a costume, right? So very soon the princess saw that, hey, so actually the princess was also, in the costume, right? So the princess also, was really, so when the reality is exposed, right, then we realize that, oh, this was such a foolish, right? So people are trying to cheat, isn't it? That we already saw in the last session also, right? Yeah. So what we understand by this is that the luxuries and comforts offered by science and technology, it cannot actually satisfy the soul, right? As much as a fish taken out of water cannot be satisfied by any kind of facilities for enjoyment, right? You take a fish out of water and you give the fish the smartphone, show to the fish the YouTube videos, right? Very nice. You make the fish, play some games, PUBG and all those things, right? You think the fish is going to be very happy? No, right? The fish will say that, "Arey, first you put me in water, right?" So it is exactly like we being the spirit soul that we understood from the last session, being part of God, right? The soul can only be satisfied and happy in spiritual world, right? Which is his natural home, right? Just as fish will naturally be happy when put back in water, isn't it? Right? Yeah. Can you read this, Keshav?
Yes.
You can read both sides, one point. Matlab, you can read this side and that side, both. First, you can read the foolish side, and then you read the wise side.
Yes. Okay. The foolish has no faith in God, follows eat, drink, and be merry philosophy,
So you can,
forgets the temporary nature of this world, and enjoys sinfully, not caring for the future. Envious of others, lives an unregulated life and goes to hell. The wise believes in God, lives life according to laws of God, remembers the temporary nature of this world, follows a regulated life of principles to ultimately attain God.
yeah. So you can see that how the foolish people, they have no faith in God, but the wise have a strong belief in God. Not only a blind faith, but then as we understand that faith is going to be there. Faith is a most essential part of, even science demands that faith. Right? We have seen that very nicely in the first session. But in the wise, he very scientifically he believes in God, and he lives his life according to the laws of God. Whereas this foolish person, he thinks in eat, drink, and be merry philosophy. Okay. And so the foolish people, they know that he will die today or tomorrow, right? And he knows that everything is temporary. But yet he is so mad, isn't it? Only after short-lived pleasures of life, right? Yeah, so we want to lord over material nature and want to control things without caring for God, who is the real proprietor and controller, isn't it? So we have already seen that how God, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita very clearly that He is the controller of material nature. So he says, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suryadesa charachanam hetu nanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. Krishna said, this is my nature. And we human beings want to lord over material nature and want to control things. So Krishna is Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that he is a proprietor and controller and not we human beings. Okay, so I think we'll just quickly see this question also, that what is the goal of my life? Yeah, please read, Keshav. I'm sorry, we are little, we got little extended today, but then some time went, in the initial, some 15-20 minutes to actually figure it out. What was the problem? Why we are unable to hear? So I'll take 10 more minutes. Is that okay, Keshav, to complete this?
Yes, it will be fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, please read this.
Yes. Lord Krishna taught Arjuna, "You are not this material body. You are imperishable soul." In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, and read Arjuna all these lessons again.
Yeah. So you are the soul. We have seen this right in the last session. So your body is just like a shirt. Just as you change your shirt when it gets old, torn and useless, similarly the soul changes body after death, right? And there's another body. So Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita very nicely. Vasam sijirnani yatha vihaya navani grahanati naro parani तथा शरीरानि विहाय जरणानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. So Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita this analogy of the shirt, that when the shirt gets old, vasamsi jirnani. Jirnani means when the shirt has become very old and it's about to torn. We don't use that, right? Of course, we are Indians, so Indians, make use of even torn shirt. They will use it for wearing it for as a night dress. But surely you cannot wear that same shirt to go to college or some party, right? So that is what Krishna says. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grahanati. Similarly, the soul also at the time of death, when the body is no longer functional, right? So then the soul leaves this machine and accepts the another machine, right? Okay, so this is the goal of life, right? So the plane has gone. This is a very beautiful shloka from the Bhagavad Gita. We'll try to recite this shloka, and I think we are almost done. Yeah, please repeat after me. You can unmute yourself. Very, very, very good shloka. It actually tells us what is the goal of our life. Mamupetya punarjanma
Mamupetva punarjanma
dukkhalayam ashashvatam
dukkhalayam ashashvatam
napnuvanti mahatmanaha
napnuvanti mahatmanaha
samsiddhim paramam gataha.
samasiddhyam paramam gataha.
So Krishna talks in this shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, very beautiful. Krishna talks. Can you read the translation?
After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection.
Yeah. So Krishna says that the highest perfection is, when someone attains me. And what is that attaining Krishna? Is what will be discussed, in some of the future sessions, right? That we'll be talking about something very interesting. And yesterday we got some clue that just like we have this material world, right? There is something called a spiritual world. You can see this person flying, right? So he's actually coming out just like a spaceship. So, and of course, so Krishna says that after attaining me, the great souls who are the yogis in devotion, they never return. So Krishna says because this world is full of miseries, isn't it? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So the real goal of life is not to, to actually continue, living in this miserable world, isn't it? Just like you said that, yeah, sir, who would like to experience this birth again, isn't it? That's why the actual to, and we go, to get rid of these four real problems of life. That means no more birth, no more death, no more old age, then no more disease also, isn't it? So when this is possible, when you go out from this whole jurisdiction. So Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita also, but which is not possible because in this material world that we are all living in. So right from the planet of Brahma, right? So who is Brahma? Brahma is the secondary creator of this whole universe, this material world. So Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, "A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna." That right from the topmost planet in this universe, which is Satya Loka or Brahma Loka, where Lord Brahma resides, and it is not like our Earth and all, right? It is a different planetary system altogether in this whole universe, in this whole material creation, in fact. So it is a different planetary system altogether, which man has no idea about. So there is much more pleasure. The life is much more higher than what we can even conceive of. Millions of years, trillions of years, Lord Brahma lives for. So right from that planet to the bottommost planet in this whole creation, the Patal Loka, the lower planetary systems, every planet is suffering through these four real problems of life, right? And that's why the greatest thing to achieve in life, the greatest perfection is to actually come out of this, isn't it? And that is the success of life. So here I have made a comparison, right? I have compared, the actual destination of life with a car and a human body. So there's a comparison being made. Maybe what we will do is, I'll read the car part and you read the human body. One by one we will read. Keshav. So the car is given by the company. Similarly, human body is
given by God.
Yes. In the car, the driver is there. Similarly, in the human body,
there is soul, Atma, the real you.
Yes. So in the car, you have to actually maintain the car by cleaning and putting petrol. Similarly, in human body, what do you
do? Bathing and putting food.
Yes. So in the car, you take care of the car by taking regularly to the garage for repair. Otherwise, the car will not function. Similarly, in human body,
going doctor disorders.
Yeah, so we take care of we go to visit doctor, right? So in a car, the purpose of the car is what? The car is given by the company to go to the company, right, and come back to use for company purposes and not for our own selfish purposes, right? Otherwise, the company will take away the car. If the company wants to know, this fellow is using the car to go to Lonavala, Khandala, and he is utilizing this car for his own purpose. You think the company will keep the car? No, right? The company will take away the car. Similarly, what is the actual purpose of human body?
To return back home, back to Godhead in the spiritual world.
Yes, so that is a purpose. So just like a car is meant to go to the company and come back. Similarly, the purpose of this human form of life is to actually go back home, back to Godhead, in the spiritual world, to attain Krishna. The shloka that we read in the last slide, to actually attain Krishna Loka. Okay, so the car, if you break the glass of the car with a bat, what will happen is the car will be damaged. So similarly, human body also, you can damage the body by
committing suicide.
So that is just like you are taking the bat and breaking the glass of the car. So that is not expected, right? So why are you destroying your own car, which has been gifted to you? So we can use it either to wander with a girlfriend, right, or actually use the car for the company's purposes. And that is exactly like in a human body. What do you do?
Enjoying pleasures, forgetful goal.
Yeah. So we are simply there to enjoy pleasures, forgetful of the goal. Yeah. So we speed up the car at 100 km/h. Although it is very risky, that is like
living life like rat race with no goal.
Yeah, so that is like trying to live and go in a very fast-paced life, and not knowing much about the goal of life. So the goal of the car is what? To reach the destination. Yeah. So we have to paint, decorate, and beautifying the car, and never use it for the job. That is just like
decorating the body with cosmetics without using to serve God.
Yeah. So we have decorated the body with cosmetics. Just like an example is just like you see a bird entrapped in a cage. So what the owner does is the owner comes and decorates the cage very nicely. The owner polishes the cage very nicely, but forgets to feed the food to the bird inside the cage. है ना? देखा ना पिंजरा रहता है, पिंजरे में पंछी बंद है. The actual duty is to actually feed the food also to the bird inside the cage. Otherwise, the bird will die, isn't it? So we are trying to decorate the car, but then we have never used it for the purpose. उसको उधर ही रखा हमने. So, or we have not used it for the actual purpose. Similarly, we are trying to decorate ourselves. People are so much busy in makeup and all those things. But then we are missing the whole purpose to actually use it to serve God. So this human body is a great privilege that we all have got. I already told you about the cage, right? The story. So there is one beautiful story which comes, and with this we will end, this today's presentation. And of course, the last part is remaining. How we can understand the Vedas are there. That is the most interesting part. But I don't know. We have less time. Whether we'll be able to cover it up or no. That will take another 10-15 minutes minimum. That is the next part. So what happens is, once upon a time there was this Mahamurkha. So he had, he was, very, he was actually very great king, and actually, this is a story of a king. Later on you will come to know who is this Mahamurkha. So there was a king. This king had very beautiful palace and he was very wealthy. He had got married to many wives also. So he had big palace and he was able to satisfy everyone, all of his wives. And he had delegated one Murkha in his kingdom, who is a foolish man, Murkha. Murkh bolte hain na. So he actually called this one Murkha.
Hi, Keshav. So there might be some internet connectivity issue at Sharat Sar's end. So we can wait for some
Yeah,
few
yeah,
minutes.
okay. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just got locked out of this.
Yes, sir, no problem.
I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so this king was there, and he had got married with many wives, right? And one day, he had employed one murkha in his kingdom, and he had given one stick to this murkha, and he had told to this murkha that your job is to just go around, you know, the whole city or this whole town, this whole kingdom, and just go around. And he used to pay him some salary also. So just for doing that. So so what happened was once he had called all his queens together, you know, and he wanted to actually tell them that look, I love you all so much, but then now I am going very far. So so everyone was a little surprised and thought that, Arey, where are you going? So the first queen said that, shall I also come with you? So this king said, oh no, actually I cannot take with me anyone with me. Like that he told. So the queen said, wait a minute, you know, I understand that maybe you will be taking some another queen with you. That's fine, not a problem. So then this king said, "Oh no, actually, it's not like that. You know, I cannot take anyone with me." So then the second queen got worried. She said, "Okay, no problem, but at least you should take some money with you, because what you will do there. So we will all pack up, a lot of wealth and all with you, so that you can take care yourself in that trip. Maybe you may be going for some trip or what." So then this king again said that, oh no, I cannot take, any money with me also. So then the third king became, the third king said that, okay, you cannot take any money there. Then what we will do is we'll pack up many grains, so that because if you don't have anyone with you and you don't have any money, so what you will eat there? So what we will do is we will actually pack up many grains, right, in the sack and give you up. So then, so then the king said that actually I cannot take with me anything. You are talking about money and grains and all, but I cannot take anything with me. I am going very, very far. You all will not understand. But I hope you will be able to understand, right, Keshav, where this king is going. So, anyways, so uh, this king then told to them that look, I'm going very far. I cannot take with me anyone. I cannot take any money with me. I cannot take any grains. So the fourth queen, meanwhile, said, okay, then at least, you take the soldiers with you. Then he said, oh no, you are all, you'll not understand. I cannot take anyone with me. So then this king said, I have only one desire. You just follow this one, desire that I have. So they all, really wanted to understand what is his last desire before he goes. This king said, look, I have appointed one murkha long back. And everyone recalls, oh yes, you have given him the task, right? Very, very tedious task, but he is very faithful to your order. Let me not tell you, my dear king. So the king said, yeah, I know, he is very faithful. He has been obeying the order since I had given him, right, this task. Then the king said, I want to meet him immediately before I leave. So everyone immediately started searching for this murkha who was roaming right in the kingdom, right from day one with the stick. So then the king said, call him. And this murkha came. And the murkha also started inquiring, what can I do, my dear king? I came to know you are going somewhere. Shall I bring something? And he also started to ask. And the king again said the similar kind of replies to him that no, that he cannot take anything with him. So when the murkha heard that the king you cannot take money with you, you cannot take your wife with you, you cannot take any wealth with you, you cannot take any jewel with you, you cannot take any soldiers with you, right? You cannot take any food grains with you, right? So then the king said to the murkha said that, my dear king, you know, you are going so far, right? You know, something is there that I can do for you than here in the kingdom. So the king said that you do one thing, because I am very pleased with you. Please find another better murkha or mahamurkha than you also. Because you have done this task so nicely, I am very happy with you. So please find and delegate this task to some another murkha, right? Like that the king said to this murkha. So then hearing this, the murkha was really thinking that whom shall I give this stick? I should find a better murkha than me. So any guess what the murkha did? Keshav, this is an interview question. They sometimes give us the case study at the interview. Okay, anyways, this is a little out of the syllabus. So the murkha actually gave the stick to the king only. Now this was really surprising, right? Can you guess why? And what was the reason? The king said, "You are really murkha or what?"
No idea.
No idea. Okay, I'll tell. So the murkha said to king that, "Look, my dear king, whole life you had engaged in trying to acquire wealth, position, power, fame, glory, pleasure. You got married to so many queens, such beautiful princes, right? The whole world is after, this only. The whole world is after wealth. The whole world is after fame. The whole world is after pleasure, and you have everything with you, right? But then, when you are going so far, when you are about to leave, every one of us, you cannot take with you anything. That whole life you struggled for, right? Whole life you are after all these things. But now at the time of death, you can't take anything of, whatever you have possessed, whatever you have accumulated. So then hearing this, it was really out of the box, right? If someone, tells like that, then the king realized that, my lord, this murkha, I was thinking he is a murkha, but he is a great man of wisdom, isn't it? Right? He has said something which nobody has told me, right? So then he actually, gave him a very big position in his own kingdom before he left. So we can see in this story, right? What is a lesson for us is that whole life, what are we searching for? What are we trying to accumulate, right? The temporary pleasures of this world, isn't it? The power, the position, the fame, the glory, right? But then what is the real success of our life? The real success is actually to get an understanding the goal of our life, and which is to actually become really peaceful and happy by actually practicing spirituality in our life, right? Because that is the only permanent happiness which can make us really satisfied in our life. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita very nicely, that we heard, that mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam, and it says napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gata. That is some siddhi. But out of all the siddhi, the perfection of life, people think the perfection of life is by gaining a lot of wealth, power, fame, prestige, position, to become the president and things like that, to get in Google, Microsoft. Surely it is there, but then Krishna says some one step ahead also. Right? He says very beautifully that the success is, the perfection is to actually get some permanent source of happiness, and not just get with or get captivated by the temporary sources of pleasure, isn't it? Interesting story, right? What do you think, Keshav?
Yes, sir.
Something out of the box it was. Okay. You want me to stop, or this is the last part remaining, that how educated Indians were diverted actually from putting faith in the Vedas. So if you wish, we can now take questions. If I am sure you might be having a lot of questions, or we can go ahead with this last part remaining in this particular session. Uh, you know, either we can take it day after tomorrow. We can actually come back again day after tomorrow, and we can complete this. And some more discussion is there on mantra meditation also, which is going to be there in this presentation only, continuing from this slide only. It is in this presentation only, which is something very, very interesting, but it will take some more time. I feel 10-15 minutes more it may take. So I think we can stop here, isn't it, Keshav?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll take some questions in case if you have.
Like right now, I can't think of any, but I think I will have some in some time.
Okay, okay. Sure, no problem. So, because we, it got little delayed in the beginning, right? We almost got delayed by some 20 minutes or half an hour, and hence we are short of
Yes, sir.
time. But these are very good videos are there also in this presentation. I don't know whether we'll be able to cover it up very quickly. Yeah. Okay, better than we cover it up nicely in the next session only. We'll give some fair time because this is very important now. That is at the end. That how can I get this? Firstly, we'll see the history of Vedas, right? And how this educated Indians were diverted from actually putting faith in the Vedas. This is a very, very important discussion. So I don't want to just hurry up and just complete it. So we'll see in the next, day after tomorrow. Can we meet, Keshav?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, same time.
Same time. Okay.
Okay. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your patience and very eagerness. We have received your quizzes also. We are receiving in time, and we have, I think, sent you also back some of the answers. You can look back again and come back with questions if you have any or clarifications for some of the questions which you feel
Yes, sir.
that why it is incorrect or something like that. So you can also ponder on that. And we'll try to cover this remaining topic day after tomorrow. And we'll talk more about meditation also in the next presentation. So thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you want to take over, Kedar?
Yes, thank you very much, Sharad sir, for giving this session on practical Vedic solutions to problems of life. So we will have this continuation of this session day after tomorrow at 4:45 p.m. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so thank you, Keshav. Right, we'll see you day after tomorrow. Yeah, take care. Have a good day.